Your Frontier opening bell is here for the second trading day of the week. Welcome everyone to the show. The markets, as expected in Nigeria, bucked very sharply on Monday, the first trading day after the Central Bank of Nigeria says its forbearance for banks that are under the central bank's single obligor limit and other things should not pay dividend or bonuses to directors until such forbearance are foreclosed. That's the latest. The banking sector fell sharply by 4% on Monday to start the week. The insurance followed by about 0.5% as expected. Access Corp, UBA, Zenith Bank, GTCO, Fidelity, where most of the actively traded stocks, billions of naira of the traded on those big banking names. The consumer goods sector, however, helped the market moderate those declines in the banking space, 1.98% on the side of the consumer goods. So that's where we are, trading the news. Let's see what the second trading session of the week will look like as some of the banks begin to explain what happened to those loans that they gave years ago into the banking, into the oil and gas sector by the banks in US dollars, and what happened under the exchange rate realignment, which was now about 2 years ago, and the devaluation of the currency, and how those monetary policy actions ballooned the size of their loans, sometimes taking them above the single obligor limit. We'll be hearing more from the banks and also the financial regulator as the banking sector recapitalization moves towards its deadline of 31st of March 2026. Keep that in mind. Let's get on to see the rest of the trading day. The BRVM eked out just 5 basis points. The Egyptian market eked out 9 basis points after a very deep dive on Sunday, the start of the trading week in Cairo. The rest of the Middle Eastern markets and North Africa reopened Monday. The NSE down below the 145 by roughly 3% in Kenya on Monday, while the GSE was closed for the day due to the youth's national holiday in South Africa, 95,324 on the main index. Let's take it further. What are we looking at this morning? Gold prices steady and oil prices jump after U.S. President Donald Trump says he's advising the evacuation of Tehran, Iran's capital city. That could be in expectations of further escalation of hostilities between Israel and Iran. That's the latest. Oil prices now consolidating strongly around the $70 handle. Time for the World Bank to end the ban on upstream oil and gas financing and end Africa's energy poverty. That's the statement out of the African Energy Chamber, which is headquartered in South Africa on Monday. The BDAC of Central African Central Banks secured about 100 million euros from Afreximbank to boost trade facility and infrastructure within the Central African region. That's some good news. In the meantime, US, United Kingdom, and Congo said they've inaugurated Kiswashi City Special Economic Zone. That will help Congo further its industrialization efforts. And Kenya is issuing its first Panda bond. That the idea was to fund the standard gauge railway that will connect the rail line to Malaba. And finally, in that region, the U.S. startup Wave has entered Cameroon through Commercial Bank of Cameroon, expanding its footprints on the African continent around the Central African region. Take it up to West Africa. Of course, Nigeria's inflation came in yesterday. Headline inflation came down to 22.97% last month against 23.7% in the previous month of April due to a base effect, not because prices are really tanking in Nigeria, but just inflation just continued to ease after the rebasing that was announced in February. Book building started yesterday for 3 days, ending tomorrow for Nigeria's Series 3 of its green bond. 50 billion naira is what the DM was placed on the table and meeting investors yesterday at a forum. The latest offer is priced around 18.75 and 19.25%. That's around the 5-year government bond benchmark. That takes Nigeria's total green bond offerings to about 80 billion naira since the debut back in 2017. An appeal court in Lagos has overturned a previous a lower court judgment against former central bank governor Godwin Emefiele. The appeal court, in a decision of 2-1 among the appeal court judges, says the lower court judge erred by allowing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to seize all the real estate assets of the former central bank governor and putting them in the federal government. The appeal court says that the appeal court in its judgment says that Godwin Emefiele, a former managing director and CEO of Zenith Bank, had enough money through his pensions and shareholdings in Zenith Bank, as well as his salaries and escrows in millions of dollars, while as the central bank, to purchase those properties, and that the court has now been taken back, or the decision has been taken back. This is now back to the lower court and to be reassigned to a new judge entirely. That's what the appeal court says in its latest rulings. That's returning all those assets back to the central bank, former central bank governor Godwin Emefiele. And Ghana says it's lost about $11 billion to gold smuggling and linking that to the UAE. That's according to a report by Swiss Aid. And the African Development Bank Group is committing 19.6 million euros to expand the Cape Verde's clean energy capacity. You've been briefed. West Africa. Where does it look like in Southern Africa as we get on with the second day of the week? FDIs to developing economies are tanking now at a 20-year low. That's according to a new research report outlined in a press statement released on Monday by the World Bank. That's no good news for capital raising and further development in developing economies around the world. Botswana's Botswana is looking to approach the capital market to fund Joaneng underground project that's prospecting for more diamond. And inflation in Botswana's was down at 1.8% in the month of May, while the Trade and Development Bank, the TDB Group, is backing Botswana's small and medium enterprises with about $1 million US dollars. Zimbabwe's SMEs and private sector is being supported by African exports with the AfDB Group. $40 million US dollars is the latest that they're getting from the DFI, while Mozambique's Petroleum Institute has cancelled the tender for seismic data acquisition. And those are some of the headlines in that particular region. If you look at the northern corridor, the Algeria says it's targeting 15,000 megawatts of green energy productivity by the year 2025 and seeking with energy. Morocco's launches first 1,000 megawatts offshore wind project near Essaouira. That's a major project being completed to support Morocco's green or clean energy transition. And Libya's British Business Council is hosting the Libya Energy Conference in London. That will be on July the 2nd, about 2 weeks from now. And AfDB, as well as the BI, that's a British investment, international investment, and the EBRD, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, is backing Egypt's landmark solar battery projects. 476 million US dollars is the loan that Egypt is securing from these three agencies to support that green energy. Fast and furious energy, clean energy across the African continent. Those are your headlines. Get on with the rest of the trading day. Have a profitable Tuesday and keep your eyes on some of the central bank rate decisions this week, Namibia as well as Botswana. Have a great day and see you soon.